Look, there is every reason for there to be a tremendous amount of controversy about reopening schools. And the controversy changes when you talk about elementary school, middle school, high school. The controversy changes based upon what is the spread of the virus within the community in which that school sits. The controversy changes when you have a sense of, what kind of resources are there and who are the kids that these schools are serving and what are the downsides of them not being at school on a regular basis. That ranges from educational concerns to, frankly, their safety concerns and their health concerns and their nutrition concerns. I mean, and then you have questions as to, what is the demographic of the teachers there? What are the age cohorts of the teachers? How much risk are they susceptible to? I mean, there's a whole host of issues that are unique to every area. So the question of schools, I think it's perfectly valid for people to be debating this. But the idea, and it's even like, you can even make, I think it seems perfectly legitimate to me to say, like, can we really expect kids to wear masks? That's just one more factor in the context. But the idea that the research on masks is mixed is absurd. And thusly, I give you South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem.
The mask situation with kids and with adults is very mixed research, and the science has not proven what's effective and what isn't and what type of mask. We have to stay objective when we look at it and really look at still the most helpful thing that you can do each and every day to help slow down the spread of the virus is to wash your hands.
I mean, this is information that is months old. It is months old. She's wrong. She's 100% wrong. I got a reply on YouTube. I made this point yesterday, but this guy makes it much better. But I also have an interview with Stanford scientists. The question that was placed to these Stanford scientists, I can't remember where this piece is from now. How do cloth face coverings prevent the spread of COVID-19? One scientist, it's important to understand the concept of source control. We've learned that as many as 40% of people infected with the virus that causes COVID-19 may have no symptoms. But when they talk, cough, or sneeze, they can spread the virus to others in the form of respiratory droplets expelled into the air. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine that anybody listening to this right now isn't aware of this. And I know it's redundant, but we have a governor of a state who is pretending that there is like controversy over the use of masks. These droplets evaporate into fine particles that may linger. The mask traps these larger droplets before they can evaporate. So wearing a mask regularly can prevent spreading at the source, even when we don't know we're sick. Now, masks are just one way of prevention. And then another doctor says many people argue that cloth masks can't be effective because they can't filter out viral particles, which are extremely tiny. But as this is Larry Chu, he was referring to the other scientists, most of these particles leave the mouth and nose in much larger droplets that become smaller even through evaporation as they move away from the body. Trapping droplets with the mask means not as nearly as many viral particles escape. If two people are wearing masks, the viral particles can travel about 5 feet away from each other, from the individual. When the infected person is not wearing a mask, those particles can float through the air 30 feet or more, stay alive for up to 30 hours. And then how do you respond to people who feel that wearing a mask can be harmful? Right? This is the video you see on InfoWars, where someone's sticking a CO2 measure in there and go in their mask and go, look at all the CO2 in there. Some people think that if you wear a mask for long periods of time, you trap and breathe in excess amounts of carbon dioxide, which could lead to brain damage. That's just not true. A properly constructed mask provides more than enough ventilation. In fact, one way to test if your mask is well made is to try and blow out a candle through the mask from about 1 foot away. If you can't do so, your mask might be too tightly woven. Other people feel that wearing a mask encourages people to touch their face to loosen their adherence to other safety precautions, like social distancing and hand washing. We found the opposite. Wearing a mask reminds people to continue to be cautious. With a mask on, you actually touch your face less. And then someone on YouTube helped me with the specifics of the point I was making about the relative size of coronavirus molecule and CO2. The SARS-CoV-2 virus particle is 100 nanometers in diameter. A CO2 molecule is 0.33 nanometers in diameter. So when I said yesterday it was like a golf ball to a beach ball, it's really more like a sand pebble, a little flick of sand to a beach ball. When we speak, we produce droplets between 20 and 2,000 micrometers in diameter. Note that a micrometer is 1,000 times larger than a nanometer. Let's give you a sense of what's going on with this stuff. So, I don't know. It's insanity to see a governor saying that, but I guess that's the president's been saying it. So I guess,
Our girl is looking good, though. She looks like she's ready to get beamed up to that space fascist mothership, and she got a blowout to prepare.
There you go.
It's so scary to me. Like, I remember about a month ago, my parents were taking this seriously just because of who their son was. But you can always tell like the sort of cultural weight that is bearing on them. And, I heard jokes about people wearing masks in cars unnecessarily. It's like, why are we talking about this? And then like a month ago, it's like, we're really going to start taking masks seriously. And it looks like finally in North Dakota, people might start be wearing masks outside like this week because of a final spike there. It's just, I don't know, it seems like just how dumb our media allows people to continue on, because a lot of this is like local news, which that's super understaffed and corporate anyway, and then you get Fox News blaring this crap out like Tucker. It's demoralizing.
It's worse than understaffed at local news. Here's a story in CNN from yesterday. Local television stations owned by the Sinclair Broadcast Group are set to air a conspiracy theory over the weekend that suggests Dr. Anthony Fauci, the nation's top expert on infectious diseases, was responsible for the creation of the coronavirus. Now, of course, you're not going to go out and wear a mask and let Fauci win, the evil Fauci. He wanted a job. He wanted to feel, it's like Munchausen syndrome. But he's doing it for a whole country. He just wants to be the guy. That's how he got to throw out the baseball thing. And it's going to be, the segment apparently rolled on over the weekend on America This Week, hosted by anybody? Yes, Eric Bowling. Yes. Bowling spoke with Judy Minkovitz, the medical researcher featured in the discredited Plandemic video. Throughout the segment, on-screen graphic read, "Did Dr. Fauci create COVID-19?" This is on your local news affiliate from Sinclair Media.
Wait, are they saying that he created the actual virus or that he made it up because it's not real?
There are the origins of the virus. This is a theory. Were in the United States. This is from this guy, Larry Klayman. Now, to be fair.
Okay.
Bowling spoke to Dr. Nicole Safier, who's a Fox News medical contributor, to get a response to the claims from Minkovitz and Klayman. And Bowling and Safier agreed that it was, in Safier words, highly unlikely that Fauci was behind the coronavirus.
Yeah, we all know it came from China.
But it is possible, they said, that it was man-made within a laboratory and escaped. And of course, that has been rejected by experts. But it's also sort of like, really? Like, okay, and what? And so But that's your local news. It's not just that masks are for cucks. It's that if you do this, maybe you're giving in to Fauci. You're doing just what Fauci wants. He's pulling the strings.
Huh. It is interesting how the conspiracy theories shift, right? Because for a while they were really going hard on the China angle. And I wonder what shifted in the geopolitical economy that they would have
That's a
shifted
very
their
good
story.
question, Jamie. Why do we hear less of that China economy? I think on some level, kudos to some in the press. They got tired of hearing it. Here's a clip of Peter Navarro. He is of course, the top trade negotiator in the Trump administration, who is also apparently the lead spokesperson on this virus. And he was on CNN with John Berman, and John Berman, I guess, is just done with that.
Say that this virus that is affecting the United States right now is
the China virus, the CCP
you know what?
virus.
We let you say that once, Peter. Please don't say it again on the show. I know why you're saying it.
China virus.
All right, Peter Navarro, we appreciate you being with us. I know what you're trying to do there. There are Asian Americans who have told us they have become the source
the CCP
of
virus,
crimes.
My friend. We love the Chinese people, Jonathan. They are hardworking, and they are under the boot of an authoritarian government.
Peter Navarro, we appreciate you being with us. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the Kodak deal.
That was a great win for America.
Okay, Peter Navarro, thanks very much.
Wow.
Why am I?
Wow.
Yeah, Justin Baragona, who's I think he's at the Daily Beast, and he founded the Contemptor, pointed out that he's done this on CNN multiple times, and they keep having him on because I think CNN actually likes putting stuff out like this. And so they're
just doing it.
It's performance.
Yeah.
I like how he piled a little microaggression on top of a macroaggression there. He was like, oh, I love the Chinese. They're hardworking little fellas, you know?
Exactly.
God.
Exactly. Let me make a blanket statement about billions of people. They're very hard. They work hard.
It's not a bad strategy. Just get yourself kicked off. It's like your coaches getting themselves thrown out of a game they're losing.
I mean, yeah. The base loves that. It's like their favorite thing, honestly. Like, they will continue to suffer through this as long as, someone goes on TV and tells the big bad media Jewish guy that, the China virus exists.
Well, it's like when one of us goes on Fox, the only good way to do it is to get yourself kicked off and not invited back. But CNN's a bunch of cucks, so they keep inviting him.
Yep.